Hey everybody, welcome back again, and today I'm taking a look at another recently released figure that's just now hitting doorsteps from online retailers, and that's going to be the Fantastic Models FM-03 Warhorse. And this is Fanstoys' take on a Mastepiese Scaled Ironhide, and of course, as we know, there haven't been a whole lot of Mastepiese Scaled Ironhide or Ratchet figures. Of course, we've got the two standard bears, which has been the Takara versions that came out about 10 years ago, and the X-Transbots versions of both of those characters that came out about a year ago. So this figure has been really highly anticipated. I think it's been one of my most anticipated figures, probably behind the Blitzwing and the Ultra Magnus that have come out in the last year or so. So I got my copy from Agabus. Actually just received it in the mail today. So let's go ahead and get into it and get this thing opened up and take a look. All right, so looking at the box here, we've got some really fantastic artwork of the figure with the Fantastic Model logo. Taking a look, we can see a photo or a drawing of Ironhide in both his bot and alt modes. So the top just has the information, bottom the same thing, on the sides we've got the same thing, and then on the back we've got some really nice product shots. So kind of your standard box that's got that really cool raised a portion of the box there with the image artwork on it. So as always, fantastic artwork on these boxes. They just knock it out of the park with that. So opening him up, we've got his instruction book here with the requisite collector card. So put that off to the side. And then we've got your typical Fanstoys styrofoam clamshell here with the FM-03 nomenclature on the box. All right, and looking at what we've got in the box here, so really nicely packed. Let's get a close-up of this. So in the box, we've got a really cool blast effect for one of the blasters. Mine is actually just a little bit warped if you look at it, but not a huge deal. We've got this drill gun, which I'm sure is a reference to one of the G1 episodes. I can't remember which one, but I do remember that being a thing. We've got another blaster. Looks like it's got probably a fold-out handle there for the gun. I'm not sure exactly how that folds out. It's really nice chrome, really bright chrome. And then we've got his jetpack back, missile launcher, his normal blasters, we've got an alternate head, so really nice looking head there. Kind of looks like an aged and grizzled version of Ironhide. And then we've got another piece here. I'm not sure exactly what this piece is for yet. Oh, this actually looks like the part that kind of, one of the neat things that I've seen online about this figure is you can kind of configure him in the bot mode similarly to how the original G1 toy was. And of course, as everybody knows, the original G1 toy was pretty much a piece of crap. It looked nothing like Ironhide, looked nothing like the cartoon. I remember as a kid kind of never understanding why those toys of Ratchet and Ironhide had no resemblance whatsoever to their characters in the cartoon. So I think from what I've seen and from the original promo information that came out from Fanstoys, you can configure this bot mode to kind of look and resemble, be an homage to that original G1 toy configuration where the windshield was kind of the upper body and there was no real head. It was kind of behind the windshield. So kind of a neat thing that they did there. And then looking at the figure coming out of the box, so I do know we've got a couple more goodies in here. We've got some alternate heads or face sculpts that go with the figure. So you've got a lot of options there for the figure. Then moving this off to the side, I know there's some work you have to do with the arms to expand those out. And looking at the figure, just right off the bat, he really does look fantastic. I think it's an apt name for the brand and how the toy looks. But he is very well proportioned. As we know with both the Takara versions and the X-Transbots versions, at least in my opinion, there were some really problematic areas as far as the different proportionalities between the legs and the upper torso area. Just things that just didn't look right. The X-Transbots, I thought, in the torso area looked much too wide. It just didn't look quite right for either the Ratchet or the Ironhide figure. And this one really, it is really, really nice looking. Doesn't look wonky at all. Very, very, very nice. Very happy with how this sculpt turned out. So let's take a look at the articulation real quick before I go on. So at the head, we've got head all the way around. His head tilts up. Don't get a whole lot of down tilt. If you push that little tab in, you actually do get a little bit more down tilt. So you get from there to there. Looking at the arms, so the arms go all the way around, go all the way out. Do we have, I don't think we have really a butterfly joint there. We do have some swivel at the bicep there, but it's super, super tight. So I would be really careful with that. I don't know if all the copies are going to be like that, but it is a very tight bicep swivel. With the elbow, we do get better than 90 degrees on the elbow. It does look like a single joint, so this is all one piece. This piece right here, the bicep area, is die cast. And then with the hand, we get swivel at the wrist and your typical Fanstoys fingers. All 5 fingers are individually articulated. They've got joints at both knuckles. And then the thumb joint, you've got it on a ball. It swivels in and out, and then a single joint to bend the thumb. So, again, very typical. Looking at the waist, we do have waist swivel on a nice clicky ratchet. We do have, it looks like, an ab crunch, which is substantially more beefy than the X-Transbots ab crunch was. That was just on a single little pivot point. But that actually looks pretty good. It feels much more sturdy. We've got front hip skirts, side hip skirts, a rear hip skirt. The leg goes all the way up, and that far back. And we've got a double joint at the knee, so you do get quite a bit of knee bend there. Thigh swivel. And then we've got ankle tilt, but not really any meaningful foot up or down. I guess you could use that as kind of a downward toe tilt, but that I think is more part of the transformation. So overall, looking at the figure, really nice articulation, what we've come to expect from Fanstoys. Let's take a look at him really quickly in comparison with the Takara version. Now, I originally did reviews of both the X-Transbots Ratchet and the Ironhide. I've since gotten rid of those figures just because I wasn't super happy with them. But if we look at the Takara version side by side with Fanstoys, you can see there actually is a good bit of difference here. So it really makes me really notice now just how antiquated this Takara version is. So I don't have any upgrades on this figure that get rid of the side skirts or anything like that. I know some people have their different upgrades that are available to kind of get rid of that piece, but mine is more or less in the original condition of how it was designed from Takara. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the Fanstoys version, this is going to be now going forward the definitive Mastepiese Scale version of Ironhide, and I would expect the same will be true of the Ratchet when it comes out. So overall, they've done a really good job. Really nice figure, really happy with it. You know, this guy can go back, I guess, into alt mode and display this guy in bot mode. But yeah, that's what he looks like. Again, as far as being a recommendation, I would highly recommend the figure. I had no idea really what to expect going into it. You know, these are blind unboxings, so these are my true first impressions of these figures. And I really, really like it. Very happy with it. So again, guys, I really appreciate everybody watching. If you like this content, please like, please subscribe, and I'll continue to do more. Thanks.